The Second Amendment is not about hunting and it's not about recreation. The Second Amendment is about people defending themselves, whether it be from a foreign army or from their own government. Both Barack Obama and Willard Romney have shown that they are clearly against the Second Amendment, and not only against the Second Amendment, against the United States Constitution with their actions. Not just their rhetoric, their actions. Hi, I'm Reginald, I'm also known as Jim Cad. Okay, the second debate. Mitt Romney and Obama debating, the Second Amendment. And Obama's talking about the tradition. We have a tradition of hunting and sports and all this crap that you hear from gun-grabbing politicians. The Second Amendment is not about that. Okay? Anybody knows anything about the Second Amendment or anything else in the Constitution, it wasn't really written about that stuff. Okay, but they try to spin it as, oh, well, gun rights, it's all about being able to hunt deer or whatever. No, it's not. Okay, they'll do anything to distract people from its real meaning. And both Republicans and Democrats want to take away our rights, whether it be gun rights or whatever. Most of these people are pretty much against the Constitution in general. They're not just against the Second Amendment. Look at Obama protecting the Bush torturers. Look at Obama re-signing the Patriot Act that was signed by Bush. Obviously unconstitutional, but they both signed it, Republican and a Democrat. And now you have Mitt Romney supporting that. You have Obama talking about, oh, I might not sign the National Defense Authorization Act, but of course he did. So now America's a battle zone, and now the military can just grab people and without any trial or any charges and hold them indefinitely. And obviously Romney supports that. These people don't support the United States Constitution. They don't support the Second Amendment, and they don't support all the other amendments. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing about these guys. It's kind of hard to say, oh, I support the First Amendment, but I don't support, the Fourth Amendment. I think that people, the police or whatever should be able to come into your home. The government should be able to come into your home and seize your product and search your home without any evidence, without any probable cause, without a warrant whatsoever. It's hard to say that, oh, I believe in one amendment but not the other. But both of these guys have clearly shown that they're against the Second Amendment and many other amendments and many other principles of the Constitution. Willard Romney, Mitt Romney, whatever you want to call him. Back in 2004, he's talking about, these assault rifles are deadly weapons and they're not used for recreation or hunting or whatever. And, they're used with the sole purpose of killing other human beings. Look, the United States Constitution, when they put the Second Amendment in there, they wanted people to have the right to defend themselves. Okay, if somebody's trying to hurt you, like the Nazis were were killing Jews, you would have to use a weapon to defend yourself. And then of course, you get the typical arguments, oh, well, guns make things worse. No. It's not the guns, it's the people. Okay? You can point to high crime in the United States with high gun ownership, but you can also point to areas in the United States with low gun ownership and also very high crime. Or other places where it's high gun ownership and low crime. You can go to Europe and point to examples of very low crime, very low gun rights. But also, you have Switzerland, where people are actually required to have guns. And there's plenty of guns there, and there's still very low crime. It's one of the lowest throughout Europe. So all that nonsense should get pushed aside because there's no empirical evidence to back it up whatsoever. So I get sick of people talking about, oh, I'm supporting this guy for the lesser of two evils. The evidence is right there. I'll put links in the description. I'll let you guys watch the videos yourself. Watch Mitt Romney flip-flop back and forth on gun rights, just like he's flip-flopped on other issues. And it's just really starting to piss me off. So I wouldn't be surprised, based on Mitt Romney, as he said, he worked with the pro-gun people and the anti-gun people in pushing forth that assault weapons ban. Think about that for a second. Obviously, Obama's against, people having the right to own those type of guns I just showed you right there. But Mitt Romney, he's basically bragging about how he worked with so-called pro-gun people and anti-gun people and came up with an assault rifle ban. Oh, wow. So basically, if he becomes president, he's going to be able to work with these phony Republicans and these phony Democrats. Well, these Republicans who are phony conservatives and these Democrats who are phony liberals. They put forth what type of legislation? People worry about what Obama's going to do. Obama's incompetent. He is utterly incompetent. Okay, Obama, Republicans, Democrats, they're tools. They're tools by the power to be. And And they're just used to put forth an agenda. It's not about the tool. So people ask me, well, do you like this person? Do you like that person? I don't hate either one of these guys. They are what they are. They're just tools. They're tools by the power that be to put forth an agenda that serves the interests of a small elite group of people, or a small group of powerful people, whatever word you want to describe them as. And that's how I see these guys. So I don't think the election is going to be all that important. And I wouldn't be surprised if Willard Romney or Mitt Romney, whatever you want to call this guy, actually push forth some type of assault rifle ban if he becomes president, or have some type of magazine limitation on a federal level. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he did that, if he became president of the United States. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. Okay, so at this point, there's a number of things I'm going to do. First of all, this is Glock 21. I decided I'm going to get another one of these as a sort of a backup. If there's ever a situation where I have to defend myself and the gun is compensated for in a police investigation, I want to be able to have a second one to go into my holster and use it while the investigation is underway. That's one of the things I want to do. I acquired a Glock 17 because it's a very common caliber, the 9mm, but there's 45, which I carry pretty much everywhere I go. It's a 45. There's a 9mm option. Something, you know, it's just another option for me, and I don't know what's going to happen with this dude after this election. I do suspect we're going to be looking at another war no matter who gets elected. I do suspect that they're going to push for some type of gun control legislation no matter who gets elected. I mean, I'm just not that surprised about that. This is how I view these people, and I obviously have a reason to not hold them in high esteem. I may even get AR just to see what it's like, because, you know, I may not have the right to be able to do it anymore. Anything's possible with these people. And I think gun control is it's just one of those issues that show you that they're really not that different. They're not that different at all. Civil liberties, you know, killing Obama's fascination with killing American citizens with drone strikes, you know, without trials or anything. I mean, it's just a perfect example. This is how messed up this world's become. So this is how I feel about it. Operation Fast and Furious. This is a huge story that people are ignoring. It's much more obvious than what Mitt Romney portrayed it as. Well, we don't know all the information yet, and it kind of appears. No, look, this is what happened. Bottom line, the ATF thought it'd be a good idea to implement more gun control policy by creating a problem. And their problem, it was a problem that they created. They decided, and there's documents that back this up, there's memos that back this up, they decided to actually encourage gun dealers, U.S. gun dealers, to sell guns illegally to criminals, to bring across the border to the Mexican cartel. They were selling guns to the Mexican cartel. They had no legitimate means of tracking it, no practical means of tracking all these guns. About 2,000 guns end up on the streets of Mexico. Hundreds of Mexicans end up killed. There were massacres. And there was a situation where a U.S. Border Patrol agent, Brian Terry, was murdered. And they found 2 or 3 of these guns at that scene. That's the bottom line there. The United States government got a bunch of people killed trying to implement a false flag, and it blew up in their face, and they got caught. Oh, well, you know, we don't have all the information. Oh, come on, Mitt Romney. So my question to you is, do you think Willard or Mitt Romney is going to implement more gun control if he's elected president of the United States? Do you think Barack Obama is going to try to do this? What do you think the likelihood of this happening? But Democrat, why would President Romney commit political suicide by implementing another assault rifle ban? Well, why would Bush Sr. think it's a good idea to raise taxes even though he said, read my lips, no new taxes? Huh? What you see before you are tools. The ones below, the Glock 17 and the Glock 21, are a lot like the tools above them. They're tools. They do not have a personality. They do not have an ideology. There's something that's used, and it's not a matter of what the tools want to do. The tools don't have a brain. It comes down to the operator, what the operator does with the tools. You can do terrible things with all 4 of these tools. But at the end of the day, they're just tools. They use phony left-wing politicians like Democrats to push forth agendas that the right-wing politicians will have a hard time doing. For example, Obama and his drone attacks and his escalation of the war in Afghanistan. Then they use the phony right-wing candidates, the Republicans, to push forth agendas that left-wing politicians normally wouldn't get away with. And it's going to continue to happen because it's the same system. Same tools, same operator. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And don't forget the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if President Obama or President Romney actually try to put forth a tax on ammunition, similar to the proposal being put forth by the actual Cook County Board president in Illinois. They're actually talking about charging a nickel for every bullet, a nickel for every round, $25 for every firearm. This is what they're talking about. I think they're going to try this on a national level.